to the mountain, set my people free. You guys trading this mountain stock? What's up, everybody? Good to see ya. How you doing, TikTokers, YouTubers, raging bullers? I got something special. Tonight's Wednesday, tomorrow night's Thursday. We did our podcast. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel. At the end of the day, please listen. I'll give you the link later. But I also want to introduce you to my new friend, and he is a friend. His name's Chris. He goes by Don Corleone 77 on StockTwits. A vast amount of information coming out of this guy. We're totally yin and yang. He's all about fundamentals and analyzing, and he's got all these analyst friends that send him all these research reports. Just a vast amount of information. A lot of that stuff I don't care about because I'm not a owner of stocks. And just to give you an example, I've been trading a stock and I'm calling it Ryan Reynolds. It's MNTN, right? Why am I trading the stock since the IPO? Because Ryan Reynolds is involved. And in 2025, if you haven't noticed, all you need is a theme. So I bought the stock when it IPO'd, and still a month and a half later, zero clue what they do, how much money they make, how they make their money, or whatever. Irrelevant. It was an IPO. It showed some strength on IPO day. We bought it, right? Made money. Next day, showed some strength. 30 got us 32.50. 32.50 rolled over, broke back down. We're out of it. Next thing you know, it crashes back to 18 and change. Next thing you know, back above 24, 25. We're involved again. Numbers come out yesterday, right? The stock had a monster reversal. We played it. And then it crashed again. We're back in. So this is Ryan Reynolds stock, MNTN. Still don't know what it does. But I know chart patterns. And when stocks hold half numbers, I get interested at the whole number. VWAP retrace, got paid, broke over the VWAP. We were hoping for a rip, didn't get it, rolls back over, bought some more, and I'm still in this trade right now, hoping for some more. It's a very illiquid stock, kind of difficult to trade. Let me show you some stocks that we're in right now. AMD long, and if you're not in AMD long, you might want to not be a trader. And I mean it. I mean it. If you came in, if you've been watching this market, right? Man, that's rude. Is it? I'm just being straight up with you. If you've been watching this market, we're on the probably the sickest bull market run I've ever seen. And I lived I've been trading since 96. So I saw the .com, I saw the .bomb, I saw the catastrophe and the comeback and the COVID rally and when Kathy Wood was king of the world and everything was ripping. And by the way, we're still in SBET, my friends, SBET. We're about to go green again. SBET, still long in this trade. And we're in from 1999, so this one's kind of just got started. But let me talk about this AMD trade, right? We're in a market that never goes down. What about Friday? Yeah, sure. What about it? That might be the one down day that we see now until maybe the middle of September, right? But you get, right? This market doesn't want to go down. Everything's ripping, right? So you came in and you saw AMD was down. AMD. AM freaking D. And you're not thinking to yourself, ooh, when do I buy it? Oh, man, Kenny, this looks like shit. Right. It does. Oh, man, it's still going down. I know. Why are you thinking about buying it? Because it's AMD. It'll make a turn. Just wait for it. And then it goes down 160. 160 gets you what? 160 breaks and go to 157.50. Look where the stock went. 157.80. But Kenny, you said it was going to go to 157.50. All right, I was off a little bit. But that doesn't mean I can't play the turn, because when it does finally turn, the faux show, right? You're a buyer right here. But wait, there's more. Remember when I told you the first 300 times that you've met me, I've got a trade that works every time it shows up? It's AMD. When a stock is gapped down below VWAP and it breaks over the VWAP, we traded it. And that was really right at the beginning of the day. We bought it here. It rallied. We sold it. It rolled over. We got out. And then it consolidated and broke down. What kind of bullshit is that? That's not allowed to go down, but it did. And we sold it. And next thing you know, we're thinking, okay, when do we buy it back? All right, we're probably going to have to buy this back sooner or later. Oh, wow, it's going down. And the market started to rip higher. What's going on here, AMD? I'll tell you what's going on. Somebody wanted out, and they were working the guy's order. 162.50 gets you 160. 160 gets you 157.50, and then it makes its turn. But wait, there's more. I just got stopped at SPET, by the way. I'm out of SPET. Just all I got left is Mountain now. And hopefully you guys are in AMD. So we just had a discussion moments ago. Is it too late to get into AMD now that you missed the fake out, shake out entry point? Let's go back. Remember when I said, hey, if a stock is gapped down on earnings and it breaks over the VWAP, more often than not, you're going to get a profitable trade. So what's the answer? No, it's not too late to buy it when it consolidates at VWAP and breaks over the VWAP. You just now identify new risk. So if you were sitting there stalking AMD, right, got paid on it once out of the gate, you were feeling good about it, right? And then you should have been happy that the thing got slammed right back down to all the way down, almost 157.50. And even if you didn't, if you weren't savvy enough, and I'm going to show you now how to become savvy, right? Look at my face. I'm the savviest. Tomorrow night, email me. This is your moment. I'm going to expand on what we do here tomorrow night. And I'm going to bring a guest on. His name is Jay Sutherland. He's going to show you a scanner that scans for institutional buy-side activity, which is basically VWAP. So a combination of what Jay's got and what I've got, you're set for life. And the guy's such a nice dude. They have a business out in South Korea. Met them on a conference call last week. And he's willing to let everybody do the right thing. Try the software for free to see if it's good. And then if you want to buy it or not. But tomorrow night, if you don't know what I do, Thursday nights we get together during earnings season because there's so much damn activity. And I love doing this, that we gather. We go over some of the trades that you should have been in, quote unquote, should. And then prepare for the next one because there's always a next one. So email me right now, Kenny Glick, KENNYGLICK at AOL.com. Yeah, that's right. AOL. I know. You can laugh now. I'm old. And then next week, depending on how we decide to, I don't know, present it, August 16th, I'm going to do a 2-hour special on Saturday. It's going to be a review session, but it's going to be a review of all the trades that consistently work. So the next time you see that setup come along, you'll say, oh, that's one of those that Kenny explained to me. This is where I buy it. If I'm wrong, I sell it here. And if I'm right, this is where it's going to go. Because that's it. That's the whole game. Why am I buying something? What am I going to do if I'm wrong? Because I prepare to be wrong first because I'm a pessimist. By the way, Mountain 2750 bid. Come on. Come on. Come on, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is not going to let us down. Don't you worry about Ryan Reynolds. He's too handsome for his stock to be negative today. What the hell was I just saying? I get distracted by Ryan Reynolds' good looks. All right, something about getting together, right? The more you prepare and the more you see this trade in action, the more you'll recognize it the next time it comes along, like Disney, right? You don't got to be a hero. You don't need a 10x trade on everything you do. Day traders, what are we trying to do? We're doing this for a living. We're doing this as a job. Or maybe some of you guys are doing it as a hobby or whatever. profitable hobby. There's rules. And if you stick to the rules, you get paid. So let's go through it. You guys heard about Disney? You heard of Disney, right? They just bought the NFL or something from the NFL, right? Whatever the case. You like Disney? I like Disney. You like Disneyland? I like Disneyland. You like Epcot Center? I love Disney. I love everything about it, right? I love me some Little Mermaid and the whole thing. Irrelevant. Let's go through the checklist. Did Disney report earnings? Yep. Is it gap down? It is, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm looking at it red from the prior day. Okay, so now what am I looking for? I'm looking for a fake out, shake out. Did it do it? Yeah, it did. Yeah, it broke the low of the day, then it came back. That's the faux show. Did it break VWAP after the faux show? It certainly did. Buy it. Faux show, VWAP bro, got paid. Now, in this case, this was my first trade. I bought it on the faux show. And again, the more you get familiar with this trade, instead of waiting for the VWAP break, you'll start buying it when it turns back above the fake out and the shakeout area. So I was buying it right there, 1371, and then I got brave and I added to the trade because that's the bro part, because you're breaking the VWAP. Now, a little disappointing because it came back to test the VWAP, held, broke a new high, only to roll over and go down. So what do you do about it? Well, if you're disappointed, you just don't sit there and lose money. Stock broke a new high and it starts to roll over. Guess what we did? Sold it. And then we sold the rest when it broke back under VWAP. And then we say, hey, that was a good trade. A little disappointing we didn't get paid some more. But then look what happens. It comes right back to that same price that we liked it. Breaks it, comes right back. Wait a second. Did it just faux show right in front of us? It did. And then look, it came back to test that level. And then we broke back above VWAP and we bought it again. Wasn't a hero trade. But if you bought it again at 14.25 and it went to 15.25, that's $1. You got 200 shares, that's $200. And then it rolls back over. We had to sell it. And then look what it did again. Faux show VWAP break. Some of the guys traded this. And then look what it did this time. Now, why was that red line up there? And on August 16th, I will explain where I draw my red lines. Because the market's rigged. It's rigged to price. Right? So we trade around the most significant prices of the day. The most significant price of the day is VWAP. The second most significant price is prior day VWAP. And then pivot points from where stocks had some sort of violent reaction, or as we call a moment, right? You see the moment it had right there where it tanked? That's your target. Once you start getting trends going back in the direction, you look for a stock to get back to the exact price from where something happened once before. And look at that beautiful sell up there. And now you're getting stopped out on the way back down because we trade half numbers and whole numbers in Disney, another great trade. So if you are keeping count or keeping track, we are now at 1,123 of these trades in a row over the last 3 years that have worked for a profitable trade. Let that sink in, because it sounds ridiculous. So what are you saying? You're saying you did 1,100 trades in a row over the last 3 years and you haven't lost? Why are you not a billionaire? Oh, because I do other things. I don't know why, but if you stick with this bread and butter trade, you could supplement, or I guess supplement's the word, for all your other dumb ideas. And let me tell you, today's the anniversary of me getting my absolute worst trade of my entire career. Just happened a year ago today. I was short close to 37,000 shares of UVXY over the weekend. Let's just say it didn't work out. Still digging out of that hole. And that was not a VWAP trade, but there was not an earnings reversal. It was just me being stupid and complacent. And I just never thought UVXY was ever going to go up. And it went up 700% or whatever it was that night on some bullshit thing they invented called yen carry. I don't know what it was, but since then I go back, and now I would say 85% of my trades are this trade. Let me show you the other one. So this one is now going to be, it's going to go down in VWAPian. We're gonna write when I write my book, and again, I'm still writing it from 1998. Coming soon to a bookstore near you called Infinitesimally Small Balls. A story of how a trader has blown his life up and resurrected his career 5 different times. Infinitesimally Small Balls coming out soon. But I also have a brochure, which is interesting, but we won't talk about that later. But this trade, I'm going to write an entire chapter about this trade, okay? Because this trade, if you can learn what happened here and understand what happened on this trade, don't ask why it happened. Who cares? It did happen, right? So look at why this is the greatest trade, not of just today. This might be the trade of 2025 because it has everything you could possibly want all in one day. Fake out, shake out, breakout, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal to the upside, blow off top, roll over, finger of God, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal to the bottom of the same trend chart, I meant to say. And I could spend now 4 hours, which is what I'm going to do on August 16th. I'm going to spend at least 45 minutes analyzing this chart. But let me show it to you today. So this morning you woke up and you saw U was on our list. Why? Because they reported earnings. And at that point, was the stock gap down? It was. Is it breaking VWAP? It is. Buy it. So we bought it at 32.35. Prior day VWAP was at 34. We already got a payday right there. But when the stock goes through today's VWAP and prior day VWAP, and it has reported earnings, 100% of the time for the last 3 years, you got to follow through trade to the upside. Voila. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal to the upside. And I didn't hold it to 38.90. I ain't bullshitting you, no way. By the time I got to the orange line, I'm pretty much almost done. And then by 35 bucks, I was like, thank you very much, you. And then I started crying and bitching and moaning that it went up 3.5 points after I sold out of it. But after I got done bitching and moaning and crying and I could have done this, I could have should have. Oh, I made $800 on this trade. I could have made 5 grand. After I got done doing that, I said, "Oh wait a second, it's freaking VWAP. Let's get our revenge. Short it." So in that moment, you went from being, "This is the greatest stock ever. I can't believe I'm out of this thing. It's going to 500 without me. Oh, I can't believe I sold it," and now you have to short it because the people that were in this are also the same people that decided to say, "You know what? Let's take our profit." And if I haven't mentioned, a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on an earnings report has been a trade that works every single time. So if you missed it on the upside, it gives you the chance to do it on the downside too. And this time we didn't blow it because we milked this trade as best as humanly possible. And again, now I'm a little disappointed, but disappointment, still a green trade. I'm shorting from here. I'm covering orange line because that's what I do for a living. Blue line, orange line. But then I got myself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, the trade that never fails. So hold it short. And our targets were the same areas where it came from. Majority of what I do, I covered it right here, a lot of it. And then it got to that level where it broke out from. I covered a bunch there, and that was the end of the trade for me. But some of the players in our trade, and I explained to them, and listen, if you have some more, don't cover any more of it because when a stock starts to get into the trend, it likes to revisit its old friends from whence it came. And look how this bad boy gave it all back. And we affectionately call this trade the Jerry Orbach trade, America's most underappreciated actor of our generation, Jerry Orbach. The Jerry Orbach trade. And if you can understand this, but better yet, embrace the idea that that happens more often than not. So you could be rah, 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 ripping and rolling and loving this name. And then 20 minutes later, you're crushing it and shoving it down their throats. That's trading. And that's why this is the greatest trading market ever. Not just because the market's going up every freaking day. Yeah. You just buy any stock and it goes up 10x. We finally calmed that moment of this rally down. But this market's still super, 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 super bullish. There's nothing anybody can do about it. The bears, again, I speak from experience. Most bears are just annoyed that they're not long. Oh, this market's bullshit. Oh, can't keep going up like this. Sure can. And it will. Because as long as that attitude is out there, and it is, I talk to money managers, they still are not fully invested. Nobody is. People are still weary. This is still a wall of worry. And we could wall of worry all the way up another 100% from here. And that's what I think is about to happen in the next 3 years. I think we're going to double from here. Again, irrelevant what I think is going to happen 3 years from now. Because I live in the moment, right? I live in the moment. But these trades that I take intraday, now I get to buy what I believe is going to happen 3 years from now. And right now, the only stocks I own are the Qs and SRAT. Well, right now, I mean, I'm in some mountain, but probably not going to hold this till tomorrow. But the market is just relentless, and no matter how you feel about it, the market. I don't know if you guys have been watching the market for the last 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You guys realize bear markets almost don't exist anymore. They called this market a bear market. It lasted for 24 hours, the shortest bear market in the history of mankind, from April 7th to April 9th, and it was over. And then after May 12th, and that power gap, as I explained to you, and I'll explain more about power gaps on August 16th, since the May 12th power gap, the market was basically, I'm not going to say guaranteed not to go down, but it was pretty much guaranteed not to go down because it trapped the shorts and it left everybody wanting. So the longs were left out of the rally and the shorts were trapped on the wrong side after we had this monster gap above resistance. And that's where we got the gap and go. And that's what we're still in right now. And I don't see any reason for it to go down. But the one way to do it, and this is how you stay along the market. You think it's going to correct, you think it's going to crash? Great. Good for you. Here's what you do. Every time the market sells off with some drama, like Friday, now that double bottom from Friday are new generational lows, meaning you may never see the Qs back below 551.68 ever. And I mean it. And that trend, what we've been doing is every time, for the last whatever, since the Trump candle, every time the market pulled back, we just assumed, all right, that's new generational lows. Let's buy the Qs. If it breaks the new generational low, we got to sell. But you notice every time we had a sell off, that became new generational low, generational low, generational low, power gap on May 12th, new generational low, new generational low. So now I'm assuming, because that's the trend, that sell off on Friday is new generational lows until this market tells me I'm wrong. Which so far this year, that trade and that trend and that thesis has been pretty damn freaking profitable. And I hate it because I'm a bear. I'm a perma bear. I think everything's a pump and dump. That's why I don't own a lot of stocks. That's why, I'm not going to fight the Qs. They go up all the time. By the way, SBET, I got stopped out. But let me tell you about SNCI because I just put this trade on. I didn't even realize I just bought it at 45. I'm sorry I didn't get involved. But here, SNCI. Why am I buying it? I'll explain in a second. I'm sorry I didn't say. I actually had the buy-in already. Oh, I only got 46 shares. So it's insignificant. Whatever. But you see why we bought it the first time. There's the faux show. 45, 44.90, back to 45, using a 10-cent risk, got paid. Look what it did there. Breaks the 90, comes right back above the 45, you get paid. And these are just day trading scalps. That's how the AMD trade got started. We waited, we waited, we waited. And again, these are not VWAP trades until it actually broke the VWAP. But the better you become familiar with market mechanics, you'll start getting into trades before the VWAP. And then the VWAP break is just icing on the cake. And now, by the way, AMD, if you're still long, now you have to decide what you're going to do. Because this is now with jiggling, right? This is the jiggle or the shuffle. The jiggle and the shuffle is right basically at VWAP. If the market tells us that we got to get out, where are you going to get out? You're going to get out at 62.02, right? So everybody that's in this stock has the same stop. That's why these things all happen together, right? And then you got this level right there, which is the 61.50. So if you really wanted to let it breathe, depending on where you're from, if you bought the VWAP break, you're going to have a tighter stop than the person that's in from 158, 159. Personally, I'm not in it. Wish I was. I would have sold 162.50. I would have been looking at 165 up here, but I would have sold some more at 162.50 just now. And I'd be down to saying, all right, if it breaks back under the VWAP, I'm out. So listen, last time I didn't get a chance. We're definitely getting together tomorrow night. I want to introduce you to some that scanner guy from Trade Pulse, if you guys know him. Nice guy too. I got the podcast coming out. I'm going to give you the link. If you show up tomorrow, I got some other free presents for you. So tomorrow night, you have to email me personally, pennyglick@AOL.com. I'll send you a link and a password. We get together. If you'd like the Grateful Dead, usually I put a show on from 6 to 8. And then 8 o'clock we come on. We shoot the shit, crunch some charts for about an hour and a half, and then sometimes we even dance the night away with my own personal DJ shows up and starts scratching and mixing some dance tracks for us. So a lot of fun. And then Saturday, August 16th, I keep saying the 15th, apologize. I believe it's the 16th. You'll have to get in touch with our corporate overlord, Spencer. And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. So what I didn't get a chance to do more of last time we saw each other was I know what I did. I know what my members did. I want to know what you guys did. Like, if you have any stocks you want me to look at, I want to show you that you could VWAP anything. ET. All right. It's kind of in limbo right now because you got a little fake out, shake out. You're above prior to VWAP, but you're under today's VWAP. But you got this little moment right there where they tried to shake everybody out. And for the day, I don't hate that right there, but I would hate it if it broke back under, that 91 and obviously your prior day VWAP. But, kind of dead. You're looking at a stock, an $18 stock that's in a 20-cent range for 5 hours. Not much to see there. Wait, are you kidding about Xerox? You're just trying to bust my balls. Xerox? Really? Xerox? That stock still trades? XRX? Do you own Pitney Bowes as well? Xerox. Wow. That's an oldie but goodie, right? Apparently they got smoked today. But look, if I was watching this stock today, that is a blow off top VWAP break. I would have been shorting the crap out of this thing and getting paid. So you got yourself the blue line to the orange line. Did they report earnings? That looks like an earnings sell off, actually. Wow, I didn't even know Xerox. I thought IBM bought Xerox like 20 years ago. I didn't even know Xerox was still in stock. Wow. Pitney Bowes still out there, PBI? Wow, look at that. PBI actually had a good day. It's funny. Give me some more stocks. Ion Q, big fan. I like the cheaper versions of all the quantum stocks, but obviously you got a lot of sellers today. Broke VWAP, got to the multi-day, and then tested today's VWAP in a rollover. That's very negative. And then when I see stocks that are trending below today's VWAP, I look at prior day VWAP. It's flirting with the 2-day. This looks like it wants to go lower. You're looking like you're going to 40 and a half. And then I go look at the 1-year chart. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing not to like. I like all the quantum names I've been in, and guys, if you know me back in the day, maybe you knew about some of these quantum names because I gave them to you back in 2020 when I first met you. Rigatoni was like a 60-cent stock. A lot of those were pump and dumps back in the day, like Ion Q was a pump and dump. And now, again, you cannot get in the way of this new trend. Rockets, space rockets, robots, AI, quantum, and chips. And that's why I think the market's about to double from here. Love NVPS. I bought more yesterday, still in it. NVPS from yesterday's earnings report, right? Yesterday 635, today it held 645. Still a fan. Again, not much of a premise here. The only premise is that NVIDIA likes it. I like it. Not that NVIDIA is always right about everything. They bought, NNOX, and that stock sucked ever since they mentioned it. RX, they bought that one. They pumped it. They got dumped. But NVTS, again, I'm hanging in there because of that orange line. It breaks into 576. I'm gonna cut it free. But that is its life. That's basically a yearly VWAP. It's taking in the Andy Dufresne it came out of. Here's the NVIDIA news. You did break a new high recently. There's the earnings report. You got smacked down. You're still above yesterday's lows. That's why I like it. Plus, the last pivot point is right more or less at the yearly VWAP. I'm holding. I sold puts on it. I got a long term call spread. I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, I'm in. And it's limited risk at this point. If I'm wrong now, if it rolls over and breaks down, I'm gonna have to dump it. LPS, is that live person? LPSN? I thought they got bought out too. Hello. What is this? What is wait, did I type the symbol in wrong? I thought what stock am I thinking of? What was am I thinking LVSN? LVSN? LBSN? No, what? LPSN. Oh, that is live person. I thought this was a real stock. This is a penny stock now? Wow. I don't know, but uh, that's I, I don't hate that. That's an Andy Dufresne. I mean, wow. You got. I'd actually have to hold whatever. Wow, that's actually very very interesting. Even though the stock's up 100% off lows, this is almost like a power gap on it. That's a very interesting chart. I don't hate this at all, and I would just use basically today's low. There's got to be some news on it, right? Hmm. And they're going to report earnings next week too. Wow, I remember this stock was like a $50 stock. And I must be thinking about something else. Hang on a second. Oh no, this is it. Did it really go to 45 cents? Wow. I'm a little bewildered, but hang on a second. Did they split or something? Oh no, this is the same stock. Holy crap! You know I'm doing a show now, right? GTI. Wow, you bringing is that still Graphite Technologies? I remember I used to pitch the stock in 1996. Can't be the same stock, right? Wow, you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Damn. This is still Graphjet Technologies. How the hell do you even know about GTI? No one knows about these dog shit stocks. We used to pitch this in 96. I think it's the same stock. Ah, wow. Man, it's like I'm going down through memory lane. Xerox, Pitney Bowes, GTI. Wow. Listen, I freaking love what this looks like. I love when a pump and dump gets pumped again, but you know, you're getting dumped right now on the day. Dang, listen, if this thing's above that that yellow line later, you could have yourself a nice squeeze into the aftermarket, which is my favorite. By the way, Mountain 2750 bid, right? Don't be sleeping on my Ryan Reynolds now. I don't hate that. Hey, listen, even if it's good for 2 or 3 days, the news is the catalyst, then the squeeze, and then the Discord morons and the chat room psychopaths, and everybody gets involved, and emails start to spread. And next thing you know, this thing's at $3. Thank you for this name. I kind of dig it. You know, Obviously, I'm not digging it right this second. I got to wait to see if it breaks down, but keep this one on the radar. You know what? I got to put this one on my main watch list. Huh? Yeah. Nice. I dig it. Uh, no, I tried shorting the queues. That's my only loss today. Yeah, just shorting the queues is just a bad idea. And even though it worked 3 out of 4 of the last days, it's just a waste. It really is. You want to short something? Short earnings reversals. Look what happened to that U trade. I mean, it's just awesome. By the way, now that the stock has gone below pre-market lows, I'm looking for it as a buy now. As a matter of fact, because they it's this is kind of rare when they bleed something to death that doesn't break trend. This has been trending down since the VWAP break at 938. Not saying it's going to rip higher, but just like the AMD and the SMCI, there will be short covering, right? And there will be dollar cost averaging buyers. There's some bag holders that bought it today at $38. They're out there. They're thinking, oh, maybe I can buy some more and try to make some of my money back. So actually, I'm stalking this U for a buy now, as a matter of fact. Now, talk to me about the Snap trade. If you're not in Snap, I don't know what more you can want a stock to do than faux show bro VWAP break for the win. Awesome. GTI, I don't know what to tell you on GTI. It's a penny stock. I'm not really interested in penny stocks, but I love me some Snap. Oh, I'm always a fan. The app makes me laugh. I get a kick out of it. Terrible stock, but bought it last night. I got paid in the aftermarket on the little faux show bro. And then this morning, I was actually pleased to see it below 750 because when it breaks back above 750, that usually triggers some buyers. And so far, so good. Some of our guys are still in it. Nice job. 30 cents on a $7 stock. Why not? CYRX earnings power gap. Oh, you're speaking my language. Almost. Yeah, that's a pretty good gap. You would have liked to see a gap above 966. That would have been a real power gap. That's interesting enough. Yeah, anything above the breakout is still bullish. So there's the breakout price, 846. Stays above that, be good. You know what? I'm gonna buy some U right here. I'm in. So this is just a scalp. This is old school trading. Stock breaks 30, goes to 29 three quarters, breaks back over 30, you buy it. And then if you pop 50 cents for 30 or 40 cents, you make some money. Here you go. Look at this. Come on. Now, I'm not selling it yet, but if it gets over 30 and a quarter, maybe we get the nice half point out of it. Typical scalp. This is just like the SMCI trade. You get the 45, breaks 45, comes right back. You buy it at the whole number. Use that low print as you're out. Sometimes you get involved in the nice little rippage to the upside. You don't got to be a hero, but just try to get paid. Now, what we really need to get something going is got to get 30, 25, early 20, 30, 28 on the bid. And then you look for it to retrace back to that half and you make some money. Also, actually, really interesting to talk about. I was pitched a SPAC the other day or last night, and I'm interested. Normally, people pitch me shit. I'm like, why are you coming to me? What kind of scam is this, right? I did some due diligence. It's the company that the SPAC is going to bring out. It's a legitimate company, except nobody knows it exists. So, you know, as far as again, just briefly, you could have a great company. If no one knows your stock exists or nobody cares, your stock's going to suck. And then you could have a worthless company, and everybody thinks it's awesome. You'll have a stock that outperforms everything, right? I saw some of the statistics on this stock. 99% of the float is being held by the insiders, which could be scary because the typical pump and dump scam is that the insiders pay a promoter to promote the stock to pump it, and then they're sitting there waiting to dump it, pump, dump. So I'm going to try to I'm getting a meeting with the insiders, and I'm going to listen. You want me to even talk about this stock in public, let alone buy it? You got to write out. I want it in writing that you're not going to dump the stock in the next year, and I'm going to have a meeting because to me it is actually an interesting opportunity. I don't like the fact that it's down in the bulletin board. It's the OTC, the pink sheet kind of shit. The reason I'm bringing it to your attention is that it could be something really awesome. You're not going to put your life savings into it, but I'm going to sell some U right here at 30.31. Hold on. Come on. Sold here. See, now we can afford to buy the SPAC. Every penny counts, right? All right. Making some money on this U trade while we're sitting here. Typical scalp. And by the way, I know everything there is to know about the market. But yeah, the SPAC. Want to hear this? Here's the stickiest part. There's 2.7 million outstanding. The insiders have most of it. There's 37,000 shares in the float. The fuck? 37,000 shares in the float. I'm like, what am I looking at here? 37,000. Oh shit. 43 sold. You. 43. I just sold a little bit more. Now I'm not selling any more of it. Now we get 50 on the bid. We could get to 31. How you doing? See this? Now, see now we're making some money, right? There you go. Opportunity finds us. You see that, right? You think the stock is going to sit here going down all day? I know more about trading than anybody. There you go. You can sell it now, right? Hey, listen, if you just bought 1,000 shares of you at $30, you just paid for an entire month and a half of my chat room. Congratulations, your first trade. I know what I'm doing. Is the bottom line. People say, "What am I paying for?" You're paying to hang with me, baby, the greatest trader ever. I know where the scalps are. Now I feel bad selling some at 25. Here you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now what do? Where's my son? Fuckhead, right? My son, fuckhead that he is, left his wallet in dead man's hand. Son, did you buy some SMCI with Big Daddy? Well, if you did, you sold some. Now you put your stop where? 30, 50. You hope for more, but now you put a stop at the half number, and now you can't lose. There you go. Let me do that myself. I'm sitting here talking about it. All right, stops at 30.49. All right, now we're looking for 31. Or we get stopped out of the rest at 30 and a half. Now we can't lose. Look at us. We're the best. My son, fuckhead that he is. See that? That's more money than my kid would make working a 9 to 5, right? What'd that take us? 8 minutes. 8 minutes, son. You see, that's one of those examples when I say, hey, I'm putting this trade on. I've got limited risk. Wait a minute. My dad said he's putting a trade on. Maybe I should join him. Maybe I should. Maybe you should. 85 big. 87s are trading. 90s. 95, 98. One more penny. I want one more penny. Oh, I hope I didn't ruin it by raising my offer. All right. There you go. 99. Sold to you. All right. Now don't sell anymore. Hopefully you get 31.50 out of it. Now, what do? Raise your stop to 30.75. And now you can't lose. Right? Who's the best? This guy right here. Scalping, baby. It's how I made a living. Right? Remember the days where we just scalped? We didn't use charts. Nobody cared about charts. You traded market makers. You traded volume. That's all we looked at. We looked at the market makers, and we looked at price and market makers and volume and scalping. Half numbers and whole numbers still works. Voila, right? Still works. This ain't a VWAP trade. This is just knowing what the hell that you're doing, right? Which I do. Or don't you? I do. Do you? I don't. And now you got your stock at 30 bucks with a 25-cent risk, and you made yourself close to $1. And now you don't sell any more of it because you got to be thinking it's about to go to 31 and a quarter, and then hopefully 31.65, and all that. Now you put your stop at 30.49, and you hope for more. And if it rolls over, you get stopped out of what you got left. That's how you stay a valuable trader. Voila. This and much, much more. August 16th. Be there tomorrow night. So going back to the SPAC conversation, right? Have I had Voz in my room? Not only do we have Voz in my room, but we've had Voz hosting my show. Hell yeah. Love me some Voz. And if you're lucky enough, the one and only Solid Jello might be around tomorrow night too. He's too busy training people. But more about the SPAC. 37,000 shares in the float. 37,000. Jeff Bishop can come along and just buy the entire company. 37,000 shares in the float. I won't tell you the price of the stock, but it's between 10 and 15. You got 37,000 shares. You guys remember HKD? Yeah, you do. Remember HKD? The infamous HKD? HKD? Everybody remembers HKD. Remember? Remember HKD? Does anybody remember HKD? I'm going to show you something that might be startling to some people, but here. You see that print? You see that stock? It went from $8 to 2,555. What? Yeah, that actually happened. And by the way, they're coming for us. They're coming for us. They're coming for the U. We got 8 cents to go. They're coming for us. Can't complain. Got paid. And if we have to sell, we do. Stop taking. So HKD was a stock that had very limited float. And it went from $8 to 2,550.30. Somebody thought it was a good idea buying it up there. Just insane. But it really happened. It's so sick. And it went, and then went to you. All right. All right. It's over. We made money. What are you going to do? It's not a bad trade. All right, we're out. You guys make money on that U trade? That's scalping, baby. Do that all day. So this HKD, this SPAC that I was pitched yesterday has the same look and structure as this piece of shit. And just like any other pump and dump, if enough people start getting excited about it, and there's only 37,000 shares available, it can go to 1 million. So I got to do, I'm not bringing this, I'm not even giving people the name of the stock yet because it's in the bulletin boards right now. I got to get, I want to speak to the guy that's running this thing. And, again, if it's a decent enough situation, it's not like I'm going to go nuts. Maybe I buy 1,000 shares of it. But it's just, if it just gets some activity, it could go nuts. It really could. And the underlying business is a legitimate company that actually has 2 successful movies. So I'm just trying to feel out where the scam is because I don't trust anybody in this industry. Even if I guess I could trust my father. I don't care who it is. Warren Buffett calls me and says, "Hey, I got to take over a stock for you." I'm like, "Well, Warren, you got a good track record, but I'm going to wait and see if it breaks VWAP." All right, what else are we looking at here? This mountain just, by the way, don't sleep on this mountain trade, right? We're jiggling, we're shuffling, we're jiggling, we're shuffling. Hopefully the next move is up. I wish I could tell you what the next move was going to happen, but it's they've washed the stock out once, twice. The buyers are here, and now we're just hoping that we get the typical consolidation VWAP break. We break the high right here. We should go to 29, and then hopefully it happens before 4 o'clock because I really don't want to hold it overnight. Anybody else? SRAD still got it. Yeah. Yeah. My son bought it back last night. I bought a little bit back. I sold it because, again, I get a little nervous going into earnings reports. So I sold a bunch of it and I bought it all back on the dip. So I'm right back in. I think the stock's going to 50. Steep and BPS? Yeah. What about it? I still got it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm again, 575 is the end of this trade for me. A little disappointed. But I'm down to very minimal positions. SRAD is actually, if you monetarily, that's my biggest position by far. I guess the Qs are really. I don't count the Qs as a trade anymore. You guys sell puts on stocks? I sell puts on the Qs. I've been selling puts on the Qs almost every week. I go like slightly out of the money 4 or 5 contracts for like 20, 30 cents. Yeah, I make $100 every week just doing it, just goofing around. But the premiums are still pretty damn good. If you guys, again, selling puts in a bull market, it's really not the best trade, even though it works, right? But it's really not the best trade because you're still taking more risk than the reward. Why not just buy? Why not just buy the stock, make some real money? But want to see some cool premiums? I mean, I sold 390s. You know, I'm surprised they still are big. I mean, 390 was the pivot from April on the Qs. I'm out in January. I sold these for like $5. The three, I think these. Let me try to find them. Yeah, and you know what? I'd still sell them. I mean, you're waiting 4 months to get paid $3, but you will make $3 more most likely. Anybody here think the Qs are going under 400 by the end of the year? Why would you? I don't think you're going to see under 500, let alone 400. So, I mean, all that premium is just free money. Sorry I had that conversation. It's really not, again, I do a lot of other things, but I love selling. I mean, selling puts on the Qs really never lost because if you ever do get put them, you own them now. And chances of the market will go back up inevitably like it always does. So I love selling puts on the Qs. Fig! People got lit up on that IPO, right? Crashing back the other day, yesterday. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Very nice. Faux show bro this morning. Blue line, orange line. Sweet. Little faux show bro, blue to orange line. That time you broke down, but then it turned into a what? It turned into another faux show VWAP break, and then another one right here. If you're along this trade, awesome. Just don't let it roll over. I would use the top of that candle as the first stop, and then the bottom of that candle is your second. Don't let it, that's pretty damn volatile. So now that it's gone parabolic, you could assume it's going to have a little retracement. Just don't let it roll over and kill you. A nice move. CLDI. What is that? Oh, you guys have got some weird symbols. Yeah, once I see Morse code, when it's all dots and specks, that means there's really no volume. I try to avoid these stocks. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, these are all just like I don't know where you're getting these from. I don't know where you get your information from, but I don't like it. No movie. Oh wow, it's 1 o'clock already. So you got all the information. Vaz is that good. You know why Vaz is good? She's got something that works, and that's all she does, and that makes her a good trader. She doesn't beat around the bush. She doesn't stray from the path. She's got something that she likes to do. She's got that scanner that works pretty well. She knows the trade. She has a trade that works, and she does rinses and repeats, and it works. And that's what makes me. That's why I like her, right? And that's why she's successful. Plus, she's damn fun to be around too. A Lab, love me some A Lab. Yeah, this one I didn't trade today because I normally wait to short stocks like this that are gapped up huge. This was a gap and go, just sick. Yeah, yeah. This one got away from me. Nothing not to like about the stock, and I think it's all-time highs now, right? Yeah. This is like Palantir. It's going to 250. You just got to wait for it. Stocks that do what this thing just did, that break the 180, 180 generally gets you 250. That's why. Oh, by the way, if anybody in Palantir from when you met me, thank you. And thank me. We got 180. I sold 50 shares today at 180 because I just I felt compelled to. Still think we're going to 250 on Palantir, but now, again, if you're swing trading stocks that you're up huge on, you just got to give yourself a huge cushion. I am not selling Palantir unless it breaks 150 now. So I'm looking at a 100-point range on Palantir. Either I'm getting stopped out at 150 when the market corrects or whatever, or I'm holding Palantir at 250. Love the bull. Missed it again for the 40th time. I don't know. The stock keeps eluding me because I'm just onto other things lately. Little faux show bro action today. This thing is just, we're just we're so close to a beautiful break, and then that could happen tomorrow. Look for it to break 18. If this thing finally gets into the 20s, I don't think there's going to be any coming back. So big fan, especially because it's already crashed, and the last two dips have been bought, and the symbol's bull. What could you not like there? All right, I probably got to go because there's probably somebody else looking to do a show. But you can see I can talk all day. I can help you out as much as I possibly can. This is what I do 5 hours a day, every day, since '07. I'll be around tomorrow and then tomorrow evening. And then I'm probably going to cut out of here early on Friday. But get in touch with me. We got tomorrow, schmooze. We got tomorrow, midday show into the schmooze at night. Little Friday afternoon action. And then next week we'll be doing the class on Saturday. All right. Namaste. And by the way, before I namaste my way out of here, let's take a moment to breathe in the VWAP, my friends. Breathe in the VWAP and breathe out the fear. Breathe out the Goldman Sachs. Breathe in the VWAP and breathe out the negativity. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bring your own weed.